Good morning, Ekoji. Welcome to our Sunday morning service. My name is Ed Sands, and I will be your service chair today. We are grateful for your presence. Today's service is being live streamed on Zoom and YouTube. If you're new to Ekoji, you will find in the back of each seat pocket this laminated guide, which will help you do the service and answer many questions you may have regarding the service order, as well as the history and the essentials of Shin Buddhism. Our resident minister, Reverend Nariaki Hayashi, will not be with us today. Instead, we have Adi Nagjin, minister's assistant Eric Ishii, and certified assistant Bob Shimokaji. Today is a Shotsuki Sunday, and on Shotsuki Sundays, we take time to remember our loved ones who have passed on. And so if you have lost a loved one during the previous month of May, you are invited during the chanting of the Jusege to come forward and to offer gasho and remembrance of your loved one. Now it is time for meditation and recitation of the Nembutsu.
Meditation provides a pause that prepares the mind to receive the Dharma, the Buddha's teachings. Please place your hands on your lap, lower your head slightly, and release tension.
Please find the laminated sheet in the service book, and we will now sing the Vandana T. Sarana, the three refuges. Please rise. Please be seated. Please turn to page 39, also in the service book, and we will now chant the Jusei Gate. Please turn to page 29 in the service book, and we will now chant the Sambujo. Please turn to page 39 in the service book, and we will now chant the Jusei. This morning, the Dharma message is given by Yuko Keicho.
Good morning, Ekoji.
Good morning.
Happy Mother's Day. My name is Yuko Keicho. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I'd like to share the memory of my mother. What is the objective of my life? This may be a question that most of us ask to ourselves at a certain point in our life. In my case, the question was asked when I was 11 years old. One afternoon, after school, my mother had me sit at the kitchen table and asked, "Tell me, what is the objective of your life?" My mother was mentally struggling since I was very small. She often lost temper, yelled, and threw bad words to people around. She claimed that she became unhappy because I was born. My whole existence was irritating, she said. Such messages were difficult to swallow and understand in the young Catholic me. Her abrupt explosion of anger horrified me. Long summer vacations were the worst time of the year since I had to be with my mother all day long. As I grew older, I developed psychological defense by putting guard around me. At the same time, I started analyzing why my mother was unhappy. I knew that strong words that were coming out of her mouth were not really meant. I thought that she was just throwing her frustrations to me as I was the nearest to her. It gradually became clear to me that she was unhappy as she was not truthful to herself. She was trying very hard to play the roles others expected from her: mother and stay-at-home wife. She probably did not like those roles, or she wanted to be much more than those. My mother was born in a merchant family in northwest Japan. She always excelled in school, according to my aunt. She loved school and wanted to pursue higher education after high school. However, her father did not allow it, as he thought that further education was not necessary for women. My mother gave up her dream of going to college to study literature. After working as an administrative assistant in a company for a few years, she married through arranged marriage and became a stay-at-home wife. This was the norm for young women at that time. Soon, she had me and my brother. The life of housekeeper disappointed her. I sometimes heard her complaining that she was confined and grounded at home to take care of her children. That is why my mother felt that I was the cause of her unhappiness. Without children, she would have been freer and done what she wanted. The sense of gap between the reality and her own expectation of life was not narrowed. It eventually grew into anger and sadness. She developed deep depression. I was hurt by my mother many times. I avoided her as much as I could so that I would not get hurt more. But at the same time, I knew that I need to accept her and integrate her into my life. If I wanted to be peaceful, or if I want to have peace. But how? I didn't know how I can reconcile. The reconciliation came in an unexpected manner. In 2012, my mother passed away after being heavily disabled for several years due to a series of brain seizures. On the flight back to Japan, I had no idea how I would feel when I see my mother, who was no longer breathing. Sad or relief? I arrived home during the viewing. I took steps to see my mother in the coffin. What I saw was something totally unexpected. My mother was smiling calmly, like a little child having an innocent fear. I thought that her smile was like the smile of Buddha, calm and embracing. She also looked much younger. I thought that I had never seen such a beautiful mother in my life. I told my father in grief on my side that what we were seeing was how she truly had been. It was as if my mother had finally been released from a straitjacket she was wearing for many years. Her soul was freed from the constraints and pressure. At that moment, I understood the meaning of a person becoming a Buddha and crossing over to the other shore when the soul leaves the body. Strangely, I felt profoundly happy for her. Another magical thing happened following the funeral. After my mother was burned at the cremation facility, family members and relatives were called to pick up her bones from the casket. When the metal lid was lifted, the facility officer took a breath with surprise. The bones of my mother were in whitish pink, like the color of little shells on the beach. The officer commented that it was rare that burned bones bear such a beautiful color. I thought that it was the color of my mother, pure and noble. The true color of my mother came out at the end of her life. I realized that I was interacting with the surface of her. During her life, she was not able to show who she really was, as she was captured in an unescapable box. It must have been hard to live that way. I wish I had known her as she truly was. The question that she asked me when I was 11 years old, what is the objective of my life? Must be a question that she was asking to herself. She was trying to find out an answer for herself as she was not living her life. Her soul must be crying out, saying that this was not the life that she wanted. My mother was a source of my anxiety for many years. But at the end of her life, she gave me a fundamental message. Live your life. When we are truthful to ourselves, we can live our life full in satisfaction. Only when we have courage to be what we truly are, not trying to be something else, I think we can own up our life. I believe that my mother was bodhisattva to me. By relieving herself at her death, she taught me how I should live. I smiled to a photo of her and said, "Thank you, Mom, for guiding my life." Thank you for listening. Please join me in Russia.
Thank you, Yuko. It is now time for the ritual of Ashoka, the burning of incense. This is a time to quietly contemplate and reflect on the impermanence of life. Ashoka involves drawing incense from a shared bowl, and we understand that individual comfort levels may differ. We offer this option to those who are comfortable doing so, but note that this ritual is not required. We invite you to come forward to the front table to offer gasho, and should you wish, place any dana, which is our offering of gratitude to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, in the bowl on the table. Dana is selfless giving and is used to support Ekoji's facilities, temple materials, our service books, and important programs and activities. To gasho is to place our palms together through the circle of beads and is an expression of gratitude. By doing this, we welcome into ourselves the three treasures, the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. If you are new and would like to participate but feel unsure about the steps involved, Molly will be in the back, a Sangha member. And she is wearing an okesa, and she will be perfectly willing to help you walk through the process and learn how to do Ashoka. Please approach mindfully, and once finished, please return to your seats via the side aisles, where we have placed hand sanitizer on both the left and the right. Thank you. Eric will now lead us in closing meditation and recitation of the Nimbus. We have a few announcements. Weekly meditation continues on Thursday evenings at 7:30 p.m. here in the Hondo, hosted by Frank Swiggers and Roger Scott. No registration is needed. Come into ours. The Dharma discussion group following the service will occur right over here at the computer. Just pull up the chair if you'd like to participate. Planning for a vote 2022 is underway and your help is needed. The next committee meeting is scheduled for Saturday, May the 14th at 8 a.m. in the Ekoji Zoom room. Your attendance is greatly appreciated and will help you play a role in this fun community event. Please visit our volunteer sign-up page for additional details. Also, on Saturday, May 21st, from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., Suzuki Farms will be here selling exclusively Japanese vegetables. You can pre-order those vegetables by just visiting ekoji.org, and you'll see where to place your order. We will be having a spring workshop on Saturday, May the 21st at 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. to 2:30 p.m., excuse me. It is entitled A Path of Gratitude, Waking Up to Life. And this is with Dr. Kenji Akahoshi. Join this free Zoom event. You do have the option of logging in from home, or if you would like some company, you can join us here at Ekoji for an in-person hybrid discussion. Download the flyer at ekoji.org to RSVP as well. Our minister's assistants and lay leaders will be available to answer the questions you may have about the service or Shin Buddhism. They will be present in the foyer following the conclusion of the service. Please feel free to approach them. And lastly, we have a Mother's Day raffle today. I think I'm due to the gracious gifts of Eric Ishii. So we're going to have 3 numbers pulled. I believe all of the wonderful mothers here received a ticket. So we'll just check the tickets. And the first ticket is 379193. 193. This is Scott, yes. Yay. And the second winner is number 379199. Yeah, you are. Come forward, Jerry. And lastly, number 379194. 194. There you go. Uh-oh.
Beautiful.
Yes. Just give me a blue. Oh, how nice. That was wonderful. Thank you. Happy Mother's Day. Eric. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.